Hello students, once again welcome to our history class. In last week for the history subject we started with the chapter that is Vedic civilization, and in this Vedic civilization we covered around about two topics, that is Vedic literature, family system, day-to-day life. These 2 points we covered. Today we are going to cover with next 3 points, that is agriculture, animal husbandry, religious ideas and political system. So let us start today with the first point of today, that is agriculture, animal husbandry, economic and social life. Now students, in this first point that we are going to deal with, that is agriculture. Agriculture was the main occupation of the people during Vedic period. Many oxen were yoked together to the plowing the field. The plow that was used during Vedic period, this plow was made up of iron plow which shared the field that was used. The Atharva Veda considers insects, pests and other animals. They have explained about how these pests and insects and animals destroyed the crops, and also they suggested certain remedies how they can cure how they can overcome the pest attack on the crop. Cow dung was specially used as a manure for keeping the soil fertile. During Vedic period, animals like horses, cow, dog had a special importance, out of which cow was used as a means of exchange. That is why cow was highly prized. Means cow had a sacred importance also, and cow was used as a means of exchange also. For any requirement, this cow was exchanged. People took special care to ensure that their cows would not be stolen. So cows were protected in the shade. The horses were valuable because of its speed. The Vedic people were skilled in taming the horses and harnessing them to the chariot, means rath, how to use them in the rath, driving the rathas. Chariots in the Vedic period had spoke wheels, what presently you can see to the bullock cart. Such wheels were there to the chariots. These wheels were very light than the earlier olden wheels, which were completely solid one. The horses drawn and spoke wheel chariot of Vedic period were swift and speedy. So if you see, these were very speedy chariots. During this period, apart from agriculture, animal husbandry was also an important occupation that flourished, because as we know, milk product, meat, this was the diet of the Vedic period. So animal husbandry was also a secondary occupation. Artisans and peoples practicing various occupations were having an important part in the social system of Vedic period. These artisans, they had their independent organization called as shrenis or guilds. The head of this shreni was called as Sreshti. However, slowly the status of skilled artisans who were given a good status in the society, their status went down and they became a secondary one. During this period of Vedic times, there were four Varna system, that is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Varna was determined by the occupation of the people. What kind of occupation a person is doing, depending upon that occupation, his Varna was decided. A Varna became determinant by the occupation of the people, and in the later Vedic period, Varna came to be determined on the basis of birth, means in which Varna you are born, you belong to that Varna. This gave rise to caste system, and the caste system created inequality in the society. During the Vedic period, certain notions about leading an ideal life became very, very well important. There were in all total 4 stages or 4 ashramas from birth to death. First ashrama was Brahmacharya ashrama, that is the period of staying with the Guru to get oneself educated. Next stage after completing the Brahmacharya ashrama was Grihastha ashrama. In this duration of life, one was expected that during this period a man would carry out all his duties towards his family and the society with the help of his wife. Third was Vanaprastha. That means when a man was expected to detach himself from the household, that is, he has to get retired and stay a solitary place alone, he should stay and lead a very simple life. That was Vanaprastha. And the last was the 4th stage, that was Sannyasa ashrama. At this stage, one has to give away all the relationship with the family, friends, society, community, and lead a life in a very simple manner. That is, in order to understand the meaning of human life, he has to stay in one place. He has to take a sannyasa and stay there in the forest doing his tapasarya. Now, I hope that this point is very clear to you. Now, with the next point, that is religious ideas. Now, religious idea of Vedic period, if you see, the Vedic people, they worshipped the natural forces. Natural forces means nature, they worshipped a lot. In this, they worshipped earth, wind, rain, light, storm, river, sun. These were the deities that were in the form of the god whom these Vedic people worshipped. Vedic composition prayed them to become the life-giving force. These 5 nature forces were the life-giving forces for the Vedic people. And so, these nature force was very important. The Vedic people put offering in the yajnas that they performed to please these nature forces. These offerings were called as Havi, and yajna is the act of offering Havi into fire. Initially, the yajna rituals were very simple, but later on, the rules of these rituals became very, very complicated, or they became very harder and harder day by day, and the importance of priest or pandit, purohit, went on increasing. Now, if you see, people during Vedic period had thought about the natural phenomena. How do they occur? Like summer is followed by rainy, rainy is followed by winter, and they realize that this is a regular cycle of the nature, and the cycle in the nature and the life cycle that moved with it were termed by the Vedic people as Rita. And the life of all living beings is a part of the cycle in this nature. Disturbance in the cycle of the nature would lead to the natural calamities that they were knowing, and so everyone was supposed to take care about all these things what were happening around. Nobody was supposed to break the law of nature. It was believed that they followed certain rules, and these certain rules were called as dharmas that they followed. So, I hope you have understood the religious idea of Vedic people. Now, let us see the last point of this chapter, that is political system. In the Vedic period, each village had a head who was known as Gramini. A group of village formed Visha, and the head of this Visha was called as Vishapati. Several such Vishas came to be known as Jana, and later on, when Jana settled into a specific region, it came to be called as Janapadas. The head of the Jana was called as Nrupa or Raja, and the main duty of Nrupa or Raja was to protect the people, collect the taxes, and run the administration of his Janapada effectively. In order to run the administration smoothly, Nrupa or king appointed various officers. The Purohit or the priest, Senapati of the army, these were the officers. Apart from this, there was a Bhagaduga who collected the taxes. Bhaga means share. A person who collected the king's share of the product of the Jana was called as Bhagaduga. There were 4 institutions who guided the king, means who helped the king in running the administration of his empire or of his territory: Sabha, Samiti, Vidhata, and Jana. These were the 4 separate institutes, and these separate institutes had a group of peoples who helped king in running the administration of his territory. The people of the state participated in the working of the kingdom. Women too participated in the working of Sabha and Vidhata. The Sabha consisted of senior citizens of the state, whereas Samiti was a general body of the people. Later on, in the Vedic thought, Smriti and Puranas, these were composed, and after a period of time, the religious streams based on Vedas, Smriti, Purana, and local tradition came to be known as Hinduism. So, this is how the Hinduism came up. Along with Vedic stream, there were other religious trends which came or which took place a different position from the Vedic period. One regarding Yajna ritual and the other with the Varna system. In the next coming chapter, we are going to study such different religious trends which came up after later Vedic period or by the end of the Vedic period. So I hope, students, that you have understood this chapter clearly. In my next audio lecture, I will be dealing with the exercise. If you have any doubts or a comment, please comment me in the comment section. If you have liked my video, give a thumbs up and do help me by subscribing the channel so that my latest updates regarding the other English grammar chapter would be easily available to you. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.